Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel or the podcast if that's where you're listening from today. If you're new here, I always like to do an intro. My name is Julia. I am a registered dietitian and I help people all over the world get to the root cause of eczema and heal their skin naturally through personalized nutrition, testing, and lifestyle changes. I myself used to have really bad eczema growing up, went through something called topical steroid withdrawal, and that's why I'm very passionate and I've been doing this for the past 6 years and helping people heal their bodies without feeling like they have to rely on medications, even though, of course, medications can be indicated at times. And a big topic I love to discuss about because I've seen such a big connection with the body and symptoms is the nervous system. So you'll often hear me talk about the nervous system, why it's so important to regulate our nervous system if you want to heal your body because it's often the missing piece for a lot of people. And today's video is going to talk a little bit about that, why high achievers, if you're listening, this is going to be the episode for you, have eczema. But before we get into it, we're going to share a little bit of a life update as I'm drinking my second cup of coffee. Yum. I think this is like my thing now. Every video, I'm always going to have a cup of coffee with me. It just makes this whole recording fun to me, if that makes sense. Like I never want my videos or my podcast to just be like pumping out information or just education. I think a lot of it is like shared experience and, what I'm learning in my own healing journey, because I'm currently on one right now, but not related to my eczema, which I'll share in a different episode. But I want you to feel comfortable. Like when you're listening to the video, I want you to feel like this resonates. I want you to feel comfortable and I want you to go have your tea and have your coffee as you're tuning in. So this week has been quite busy with clients that have onboarded. We've been working with a lot of different cases this week. Lots of people, of course, with eczema. I have a couple clients. We're trying to work through food sensitivities, environmental allergies, and helping our clients optimize nutritional status. One thing that I'm seeing very common is a lot of people try to eat healthy or they are eating healthy. But the problem is just because someone is eating healthy doesn't mean that your nutrient levels are optimized. And this is why testing is so important because you could have the best diet and eat all organic and all the great foods, but if your body's not absorbing those nutrients, we're not actually healing the body because it's not about what you eat, but it's about what you absorb. This week, I've been seeing a lot of deficiencies in my clients with eczema, iron deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, hypothyroidism, and just overall symptoms showing that their body is not absorbing the nutrients that they're taking. I actually have an episode on the channel that talks about labs that you want to consider looking at if you have eczema. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But it's interesting from a clinician's perspective is when we're trying to understand eczema, this also applies to other chronic inflammatory conditions too, is that it's not just one piece of the puzzle, right? It's not just one diet. It's not just one supplement. It's not just one thing. It's always different parts that we have to consider. Otherwise, it's really going to be difficult to find out the root cause and also find your triggers when we don't know what to look for. That's basically what's been going on in the practice this week. The other thing I want to share is a bit about my skin is that I'm doing microneedling for the very first time, actually tomorrow. As someone with eczema, I've always been afraid to do anything on my skin because sensitive skin, dry skin, right? Inflammation. But I don't have eczema on my face and I haven't had eczema on my face since my TSW days. So I'm not really too concerned about doing microneedling, considering that it's quite an aggressive treatment. Now that I'm past my eczema days on my face, I'm starting to get acne from dry skin to overproducing oil. So I don't know if you guys are watching this on YouTube. I'm literally not wearing any makeup right now and you could visually see pimple scars all over my chin at this moment. Probably from the stress I've been dealing with the last couple weeks from an injury that I sustained. And I don't even know because I eat pretty good too. I know some of you have questions about skin treatments, whether or not you should do it for eczema or not. So definitely stay tuned and I'll let you know how that goes. I have some upcoming travels coming up. I'm actually supposed to visit my sister next week in Ottawa. So I'm excited for that. And some other travel plans coming up near the end of June. However, if you listen to my last episode, I did experience a significant injury to my Achilles. So I am immobile. I technically cannot can't walk. I'm waiting for an ultrasound to look at my tendon to see if I need surgery or not. Anyways, that's a whole other thing on its own, but I am basically in this process of figuring out what my life is going to be like in the next couple months. That is a bit of a life update. All right, so let's get into today's episode on why high achievers have eczema. These are going to be my entrepreneurs. These are going to be people that are in corporate, people that just are hard workers. You don't even have to be an entrepreneur or in corporate. Someone that has big goals and big dreams and just like to work hard, I guess. I've been noticing a pattern over the past 6 years of running my practice. And it's not just with my client base, but I also see this in myself as well. Why do so many people with chronic health issues seem to be high achievers? And I think the question is rhetorical in a way, because we know that when you overwork, when you are high achieving, that's stress on the body, even if you don't feel it. I had a client earlier this week. She was like, I don't think I'm stressed. I don't feel stressed. But she's been seeing multiple practitioners that specialize in the nervous system, and every single one of them is like, you do have stress in your body. So I think a lot of us don't feel that we're stressed because we're in autopilot and we're just conditioned to work hard, right? To succeed. Now, before we dive into the specifics of this episode, I just want to say that's not the root cause of eczema. Like, just because you're a high achiever doesn't mean that's the root cause. It's one of the factors that we want to look at when we're assessing someone that's having these significant flares. Eczema is very complex, right? There's genetics, the microbiome, there's nutrition, the skin barrier, there's the immune system. There's several factors that play a role in eczema flares. What's interesting that's not often talked about, that there's certain personality traits that seem to link with chronic eczema. I have a post on this I just shared on Instagram, and I had a bunch of people comment and say that this is them. Like, they're high achievers, people pleasers, warriors, perfectionists. And so these are traits that a lot of people with chronic health conditions have. Let's talk about it. High achievers. Typically, people who are high achievers, they are the ones that work pretty hard, right? Maybe you grew up in a family where success was really important, or academics are really important, getting into a good university, getting to a good college. Maybe your parents are a little bit, tough on you. I can definitely relate to that. So if you have had like a childhood where you had to work really hard and a lot of discipline, that's going to play out as you get older, right? A lot of our behaviors and our beliefs and our lifestyle actually is a reflection of how we were taught growing up. A lot of people with eczema, we're looking at personality traits sometimes, and they tend to be the ones that are, again, high achievers with work and other areas of their life. And we'll also see it with their eczema as well. They're the ones that usually try to do everything under the sun to heal, like perfectly. So they're also perfectionists. They feel very responsible for their healing, responsible for their job, responsible for a lot of different things in their life. Obviously, they're driven to heal, driven to succeed, driven to do well. And usually high achievers, because you want to achieve that goal, whatever that looks like, you will do anything you can to achieve that. Obviously, there's a spectrum, right? There's some people, they have goals, they try to aim for it. Great. And there's other people, and I think I'm probably on this spectrum, where I will do anything it takes. We're going to take a quick break. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something I see all the time as a root cause dietitian. So many people are struggling with gut issues, eczema, inflammation, fatigue, blood sugar imbalance, you name it. And they've tried everything under the sun, but nothing is really sticking. They go to the doctor's office, and the first thing they're given is a medication or a steroid to help their skin. And there's not a lot of conversation about addressing symptoms from a root cause perspective. And this is where I come in. I help people as a dietitian to get to the root cause of exactly what's going on and create a practical, personalized nutrition plan that actually makes a difference. No strict protocols, no restrictive dieting, and no detoxes. Just a clear plan that you can actually follow that is sustainable. And this is exactly what we do inside our group and one-on-one coaching services. We help our clients feel better in their bodies and actually become symptom-free. If this is something that you've been looking for, I would love to work with you. You can simply book a free consultation in the show notes below. The consultation is for me to understand your health goals, where you're feeling stuck, and how we might be able to support you. I would love to help you feel better, confident in your body, confident in your skin, and confident in yourself by healing from the inside out. Now, this is not a program that will just tell you what to do. This is a program where we work with you. We are by your side the entire time. We help you understand your symptoms and your body, and we combine nutrition with with Mind Body Medicine. I'll leave the link in the show notes below for you to book a free call. Now, back to the episode. I will do anything it takes to get that goal. Even when other people say that my dreams are delusional, my goals are delusional, like there's no way that you can achieve that. No, I'm delusional. I'm crazy. I have big goals and desires that a normal person probably doesn't have. I don't know. I've been told that before. That's a personality trait of mine. And everyone's going to be very different in terms of the level of that. High achievers are people that want to do things right. They want to do things right. And they also sort of want to be pretty good at what they do. Like, you want to be good. Does that sound familiar for those of you who are high achievers and listening? There's no research that I know of that links personality traits to eczema. This is all speculation and anecdotal evidence of what I'm seeing with my practice and with myself. Now, I also want to say these traits aren't negative, okay? These aren't bad traits at all. It's amazing to have the drive and to have the ambition. But sometimes these traits, as someone who's a high achiever, it's exhausting and it's tiring for the body. That's why you see some of the most successful people and the entrepreneurs, they're freaking burnt out. They have symptoms. They have eczema, right? Because they're just always working. When your nervous system is always on overdrive, we know what that's going to lead to. Talked about it so many times, so many different episodes on this. It's going to lead to inflammation. It's going to lead to eczema flares. How you are with one area of your life is how you are in other areas. So if you're high achieving and you want to do things right in your work, you're probably doing that with your eczema too. What I've seen is that the people that really want to do things right end up controlling the things and end up forcing it. For example, they're trying to heal their eczema, but instead of trusting the process, they are questioning. They are asking the when, they're asking the how, constantly researching, they're not really trusting their protocol. They're just doing a bunch of things without real direction. Instead of slowing down and simplifying their protocol, they're just rushing and they're trying to control every part of their healing. I'm not saying don't be a high achiever, right? I think sometimes we do have to tune into our bodies and slow down when our bodies are asking us to slow down, and your body will always speak to you in symptoms. It'll always communicate with you if it's out of balance, right? And if it's related to your nervous system, your eczema is going to flare for a lot of people, or you're going to notice increased itching, or you're going to have headaches, or you're going to have fatigue. Nervous system imbalance can show up in so many different ways, but obviously for those of you who are listening that have eczema, it's going to show up as eczema. I believe that you can still have these amazing traits, but also not have symptoms. Right now, because I've learned so much about my own body, and I know for a fact with evidence that my eczema flares when I'm stressed, period. So what that means is I'm very intentional with my days and very intentional with my rest. I'm literally in bed by 8:30 or 9, even on weekends if I'm not out. I make sure I don't sleep later than 11 p.m. I get my full 8 hours of sleep, very important for healing. When I'm working, I try my best to take breaks. So my lunch breaks, half an hour minimum, up to an hour, to really focus on my meals and give my body the break that it needs. I truly believe that you can have both. I know a lot of other people say it's hard to have balance, but I don't believe that. I think that's a choice for you to be successful and also be healthy. Now, could you be more successful if you wanted to and sacrifice other things? Probably. A lot of people sacrifice healthy eating, or they sacrifice even family, right? To work on their business and their career. That's also a choice as well. It comes down to what is more important to you. If your eczema is important, you will make time for your eczema. You will make time for nervous system regulation. You will make time for rest. If your work is more important than your eczema, then you're going to prioritize that. Then maybe your eczema is going to heal slower. Maybe you're going to flare more. That's something that you have to be aware of and acknowledge that it might happen. I will say, based on my experience dealing with eczema for so many years in my life, I saw the most change when I felt more at peace with my body, meaning I gave it the rest that it needed. I gave it the nutrition that I needed. I stopped wanting to have a perfect protocol, a perfect supplement plan, to do all the testing, to do all the lab work. There's no point in doing all the testing in labs if your nervous system is dysregulated. Period. What's the point of that, right? The solution to heal your eczema isn't going to be a supplement for your labs, because that supplement is not going to help your labs if the labs is influenced by your nervous system, which it can, right? If your nervous system is in overdrive, your inflammation is going to go up, your cortisol levels are going to go up, you're going to be nutrient deficient. So even though you're doing all the diets and the supplements and repleting your nutrient levels, it's like you're hitting the gas in the car, but you're also hitting the brakes at the same time. The brake is your stress. So we can't have one or the other. Okay. You can't do all the testing, all the labs, and be extremely stressed out. It's not going to work. If you're someone listening and you're like, this makes a lot of sense, I'm a high achiever and I'm noticing eczema, just know that it's, first of all, not your fault. Nothing is wrong with you. You are the way that you are. Everyone has their own personality traits, but it's just an episode that I want to share with you guys to reflect on it and maybe just think about why slowing down is something that you want to start considering, especially if you're noticing flares, and also just finding that balance, like knowing that you can still be successful and heal at the same time. You can still do the things that you want in life and heal at the same time. I really don't think it's one or the other. Remembering when you're trying to heal from eczema, it's also not about doing more work or trying harder. Sometimes it's about not forcing the outcome of your eczema healing and just trusting the process. And if you tune into your body, and this will take time, you'll start to realize what your body is really asking for. If you like this video and this episode, please hit the subscribe button below. There are a bunch of you watching my videos that aren't subscribed, so please make sure you do that. That's going to be really helpful in helping the show grow. And we release weekly episodes to help you heal your eczema, get to the root cause, and just feel better in your body. You definitely don't want to miss out. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.